The UFC is having a real issue with commentary recently, and it's starting to get to me. Last night is a great example of it. So, UFC Fight Night London, Evloev defeated Lerone Murphy, and I was watching the fight last night, and I'll just obviously Evloev was given a decision. When I was watching the fight last night, I always listen to the fights with commentary on because you're able to hear the punches. I like to hear what the commentators have to say half the time. And as I was watching the fight, the first three rounds, the commentary was extremely biased towards Murphy. But in the moment, I didn't realize how biased it was. So I rewatched the fight without the commentary and with the commentary both today, just to sort of get an idea of the difference that was going on here. So the first round was given to Evloev by all three judges, I believe. And when I was watching this fight live, I was convinced that this was a clear Lerone Murphy round, not even close. So when the judges ended up giving the round to Evloev, I was extremely confused. And I expressed that in the video that I made yesterday, that I don't understand it at all. So when I was rewatching it, the commentary definitely does play a role here, and it convinced me to think that this round was nowhere near as close as it actually was. I still think that Lerone Murphy won this round. He's up slightly on significant strikes. This wasn't a massively exciting round, but I can definitely see a case where Evloev can win this round. I personally still think Murphy wins it, but with the commentary last night, I was like, there's no way that he won that round. That is so clear. And it's made me realize not just this event, but previous events, how much the commentary can actually brainwash you. And you don't even realize, and especially if you're not even paying 100% attention to the fight. Some people are on their phones or talking to people. If you're just hearing the commentary, you're going to be convinced of a different result than what you're actually seeing with your eyes, and it's really starting to get to me. I've had to sit here and rewatch this fight twice because the decision confused me so much yesterday. So round one, I did give to Murphy, but it was a lot closer than I thought it was when I was watching it back. Round two, again, I think it was a clear Lerone Murphy round. Sorry, not again. I think this one actually was a clear Lerone Murphy round. Again, nothing exciting, but it was given to him by the judges, so I'm fine with that. Round three, I thought that Evloev won, but I thought again it was close and it could go either way. But when I watched it back, I was convinced that this is definitely an Evloev round. And when I listened to it with the commentary, in the last, I think it was 20 seconds, the last 15 seconds, Michael Bisping literally says out loud, oh, Evloev is going to need a finish here. And I'm like, what? I understand Lerone Murphy's the UK guy, Bisping's a UK guy, but the bias needs to relax a little because it's annoying me. And to a certain point, I wish that there was an option that we can mute the commentary, but I can still listen to the fights. I still want to hear the corner work. I still want to hear the crowd. I still want to hear the noise of the punches landing. I wish there was somehow an option. Paramount should introduce that. I know I'm a UK guy, so I'm not on Paramount, but Paramount should introduce a no commentary option where I can still hear everything else, because it is annoying me, and I've seen a lot of people say similar things, that it's starting to get on their nerves. And it's not just this event. At the Holloway Oliveira event, DC was starting to piss me off as well. It was Gregory Rodriguez Robocop against Bruno Ferreira, and literally in the finishing sequence, I remember that DC is talking about Hamzat Chimaev, and I'm like, I don't care about Hamzat's weight. I'm trying to watch a fight, and the finishing sequence happens, and he has to like abruptly cut himself off to talk about the finish. And I just feel like I get so less immersed in the fight when, instead of commentating unbiasedly on what's going on, they're either clearly biased for one fighter, or they're just sprinkling in fun facts I didn't ask for. I'm here for you to commentate a fight. It should be supplementary to the fight. I don't need constant fun facts and stuff that's taking me out of the immersion of actually watching the fight and ruining the experience. Like, I'm I'm probably going to have to watch future UFC cards with no commentary in. I know a lot of people are in the same boat, that they already do that, which is annoying because I want to be able to hear the fight, But if I'm having to listen to this commentary, which is one, taking me out of the fight, and two, potentially influencing what I'm seeing on the screen, then I'm probably going to have no choice but to take the commentary out until there is some option to watch it without the commentary. And Bisping and DC have been the worst as of recently. Joe Rogan's is a whole nother issue. It feels like he's got a voice line scroll wheel that he just flicks between, and it gets so repetitive. I just hear about steel cups, how they can help in an armbar, how low kicks were revolutionized by Benson Henderson. Anytime a low kick lands, Joe Rogan makes it seem like, oh, the fight's about to be over because there's a slight bit of redness on the guy's calf. And he just keeps pointing it out anytime a low kick lands. Oh, he needs to be careful on that leg. And I'm like, bro, like, I get it, but it's so repetitive. I know as soon as Joe Rogan is commentating, it's like I'm playing a game of bingo. I'm literally ticking off boxes that I know Joe Rogan's going to talk about. Probably weight cutting at some point. Probably how they need to introduce more weight classes. Steel cups and how they can help in an armbar. Low kicks and Benson Henderson. And yeah, the UFC and Paramount should listen to what people are saying about the commentary because it is affecting the quality of these cards. The standard of the cards is going down with these issues, the bias, the repetitiveness, and shout out to Paul Felder because I think he's really good on commentary, and I think John Anik as well. They're usually quite non-biased and are actually commentating the fight on what's going on. It feels like when I'm not listening to these guys, there's just like a podcast going on. And they're just like talking to each other. Especially when Joe's on, I'm just listening to JRE instead of actually listening to the fights, and we're talking about what's on the screen. And yeah, it's really getting to me. I literally posted a whole video last night being like, this fight doesn't make sense. How did the judges score to Evloev? I think it should have been a draw or a Murphy win. I still think it should have been a draw, but the rounds were definitely closer than I first thought, and I can understand it more why the judges gave it to him. Although Evloev, you still fought weird. Watching those first 3 rounds back, and you're like, you didn't shoot in the first 2 at all, and you only shot in the third because it was kind of the air. Confused me. Still a weird fight, but regardless, I can see why the judges gave it where they can more than I did yesterday. But yeah, please somehow introduce a no commentary option or make the standard of the commentary just better because it will make everybody's experience watching these fights so much better. Peace.